Rosie O'Neill, Niall Wanapore, Maddie Murphy, and head coach Steve Brasso. And we will let you know about the North Carolina Rapids as soon as we get their lineup here. And if everybody would stand and remove their cap. And if you look to the right field, you will see the American flag. Yes, okay. And give all due attention. I see that ponytail. I saw it. I just want to let you know also, Emily Cardoso, Corinne Sherlane, Kristen Jensen, Taylor Harrison, Victoria Dominar, Sydney Spruce, and Maggie Hunt is filling out the roster for Wake FC WPSL Women's Soccer. And don't forget, Chick-fil-A is serving tonight up here behind the press box.
Welcome back to Holly Springs, North Carolina. We're at Ting Park here in Holly Springs. Chris Lehman with you as Wake FC gets set for another WPSL matchup on this Tuesday evening against the Carolina Rapids out of Charlotte, North Carolina. It is a beautiful, beautiful day to play some soccer here in the middle of the great state of North Carolina. Just about 80 degrees, very low humidity today, which will be very helpful to these players, especially playing on a turf field. But that shouldn't really come into play in this match tonight because of that temperature. So it'll be interesting to see if the energy levels stay up longer and if this cool weather makes for an exciting soccer game. Wake FC in all blue. They'll be moving left to right here in the first half with the burgundy tops and the white bottoms. It'll be the Carolina Rapids. Wake FC will start with the ball. It's been a little while since they've been here. A little bit of a hiatus for both the USL2 and the WPSL teams, but they are back and ready to go once again here today. Both of these teams searching for their first win of the season, and we'll get underway here at Ting Park in Holly Springs. Wake FC will control off the start, moving all the way back to the back line. Up through the middle, and a fish. This is a couple of teams that are going to be hungry for a win tonight. And like I said, perfect weather to do it here today. We'll take a look as we get things going at the standings in the North Division. As Wake FC has slowly, methodically moved it forward. Now they're going to make a run down the far side into the middle. Great save made by the starting keeper for the Carolina Rapids, Olivia McKelvey. McKelvey out of UNC Charlotte, a native of Monroe, North Carolina, and is a team based in Charlotte, North Carolina. You've got a good number of UNC Charlotte players as well as some Charlotte natives on that team. But a lot of good North Carolina talent from both sides of the state out on the pitch in this soccer match. Just over a minute in, and it's been all Wake FC off the start. They have controlled the action. They've moved it up the field nicely, and there hasn't been much done by the Rapids to stymie their possession. Around the far side, it's Fish, dropped back to the back line. We'll take a look now at the standings, and there are a few teams that have played quite a few more games than the others. Carolina Rapids have only got one logged so far. It was a 3-0 loss at the hands of Oak City United. That is a team that Wake FC has not seen yet. And of course, your Wake FC club sitting at 0-3 at the start of this season. Nice and shady out on the pitch right now, and again, that's going to be helpful with the temperatures. Of course, we're sitting at the beginning of June. It always gets warm, and now a chance for Wake FC on the near side. Through ball, played for Anelia Perez. Anelia Perez has a chance to play it through. One-time shot, they score. Just 2.5 minutes in, and Wake FC has the lead.
In 2 minutes and 33 seconds.
We'll get the list on the goal for you. It sounds like it was number 9, Rosie O'Neill. So Rosie O'Neill makes it 1-0, Wake FC.
O'Neill scored that with the assist coming from.
And Nelia Perez on the assist. Well, this is a great start for Wake FC. Now, we'll see if the Rapids clean up the defense. They've left a lot of space. They haven't put a lot of pressure on Wake FC. Again, we're just over 3 minutes in, but there hasn't been a lot of pressure from the Rapids, and now we're going to get a look at their first time really possessing the ball. On the near side, Anna Maria Evans. Evans has it deflected away. It'll roll out of bounds. Last touch by Wake's Rosie O'Neill. And it will be a throw-in for Carolina. Wake controls it. Played towards the middle for Dominique Babbitt. Babbitt plays it back for Fish. Anna Fish. Rolled to the near side. And Wake FC creating some space on the back line. Controlled by Taylor Mitchell. Playing center back today with number 25, Adair Warner. But they are going to be key here, and we're seeing a lot of good organization, some good passing from this Wake FC squad. And it's something you would expect to see as the season goes on, that chemistry to continue to develop. But they really had been working more with the long ball through the first couple of games we saw here in Holly Springs, and just trying to make runs and play the ball over the top of their opposing back line. But they've moved the ball methodically. They've been great with some one-touch, quick wall passing to move it up the side of the field, and they're doing it once again. Nelia Perez down to the goal line. Plays it across, shot just wide. And that will go down as a goal kick. We're going to get another look at that opportunity. This is almost exactly the same position that Perez was in when they scored the goal, but closing down a little bit better. The Rapids were able to shut it down, and the opportunity not quite as close in for Wake FC. They'll control it once again off the goal kick. They have completely dominated the Rapids early on, and it shows on the scoreboard. Into the middle of the field, Morris. Stolen away again by Wake. Anna Fish looking to the near side. She's got Perez. And back into the middle. Well, we've had a slight breeze. Ball played through. A chance if she can get to it, but McKelvey's out to clear it away. for the Rapids. The run there made by number 11, Alexandra Kerr. Perez again. She's been a huge part of the surge early here for the Wake FC WPSL squad. She's had a lot of control on the near side. A foul as we get the whistle. Defender for Carolina came in on the back, and the challenge from behind will be whistled, so a free kick. Get another look at it here. And it was Brianna Morris who came in on the back of Sydney Simmons, the midfielder. Wake FC's got it back in play. Simmons will play it across, looking for Kerr. She backpedals to receive and has a chance at the top of the box, moving in to the middle. The shot over the top. And we'll get another look at that. A nice opportunity, but again, all Wake FC here early. A nice job. Beautiful first touch, but look at the defense. Just backpedaling, backpedaling, backpedaling. That was Erin McCrae out of Stetson University, giving a lot of space in close on goal. And we'll see if Wake FC starts to pull the trigger a little bit earlier. The closer you get, obviously, the better shot you have on goal. But with that much space around the 18-yard box, you might just start firing away and just pelting McKelvey with some shots. Austin Bowling has it. The defender forcing it down the far sideline. She'll put pressure on, and it's cleared up and out of play for a Wake throw. Light starting to come on here at Ting Park. Babbitt in control. Gets the throw from Bowling. Turns out of pressure. But again, a lot of space for Wake. Nelia Perez knocked down from behind. Whistle comes a little bit late, but it does come. And a great opportunity with a close-in free kick. There's another look at it. Babbitt moves to the middle of the field. This looks a lot like that last foul. Just great body position for Perez. And she draws the call. And a free kick from about 25, 30 yards out. Well, it'll be Babbitt to take the kick. 8 minutes in. And the third minute, Nelia Perez found Rosie O'Neill to make it 1-0. Babbitt gets the go-ahead. And here comes the free kick. Well, it's played short. One time across. McKelvey's there to swallow it up. Delaney Graham made that crossing attempt. Maybe needed to get up in the air a little bit and keep it away from the keeper. Rapids in control. They haven't had possession much. Trapped down by Lulu Fan to the near sideline for Julia Lenhart. And the Rapids in control. But you see a big difference in the way that Wake is defending Carolina from the way that the Rapids have been defending Wake. We mentioned it on that last replay, a couple replays ago, I should say. They left a lot of space, even if you look at that free kick. A lot of space for Delaney Graham. But you see a much more aggressive approach from Wake FC on their back line. Not giving space. Sometimes that can come back to bite you, but right now they've done a good job of balancing the aggressiveness of that defense without being too aggressive and opening up opportunities for the Rapids. Bounced around on top of the 18-yard box on Wake FC's end. Here comes a shot. Nice block made by Delaney Graham to get in front of it, and now to be floated in on the starting keeper, Jessica Berlin. Berlin will toss it out. Austin Bowling on the far side of the field. Moved along for Alexandra Kerr. And we talked a little bit about the standings. As play continues, we'll take a full look at the Carolinas division, or the Carolinas conference standings. And we talked about the free kick. We'll take another look at it here. Just good eyes from Babbitt, an experienced player. Lots of space. And just not the right angle on that cross. Cleared out. Wake FC still in control. Babbitt in the middle of the field. She's got space on the near side. Plays it through. Perez on the run. She's behind the defense. A great chance brewing here for Wake FC again. Perez cuts to the middle. Plays it a little too out in front. Blocks the cross. Beats McKelvey to it. But she can't hold it in bounds. And we'll get another look at that one as well. A great individual effort. As we get a look at Perez one more time, she's been dangerous down that near side. A great cut, got a little out in front of her, but she continues to hustle, and just unfortunate she couldn't get it under control there in time. But a great effort from Nelia Perez, who has been very disruptive for the Carolina Rapids. In the middle of the field, it's Anna Fish. Rolled to the far sideline. Again, look at all that space. Moving in, taking advantage of all of it. Played across, blocked, and then cleared out by the Rapids. That was Anna Maria Evans who got a piece of it. And now it's rolled all the way back to the back line of Wake FC. To the near sideline. Taylor Mitchell up to Perez. And then rolled back in and across. No one there for Wake FC. All the way back to McKelvey. So let's take a look at the Carolinas Conference standings. Of course, Wake FC in the North Division with the NC Fusion, Oak City United, Carolina Rapids, and the Lake Norman Eclipse. The Fusion off to a fantastic start, 12 points, going 4-0 in their first 4 contests. Oak City United at 3-1, and then the last 3 teams in the conference all winless so far. Wake FC is at 0-3, Carolina Rapids 0-1, and the Lake Norman Eclipse 0-2. But that's the division so far. And Wake in control here. As mentioned, both of these teams still searching for their first W in the fixtures. Rosie O'Neill. Left for Babbitt. Back to Mitchell. The breeze picking up just slightly here in Holly Springs. And still plenty of space for Wake. It almost looks like the Rapids are kind of take a similar approach to what we saw, or what you see a lot of times out of teams who don't feel like they're going to be able to match up man on man, or in this case woman on woman, with a team, and they're going to kind of stack that defense, try and stay deep, and close off those opportunities offensively for Wake, and then try to counter. But Wake FC has done a great job of being back and being in control, and they really haven't allowed Carolina to possess the ball all too much early. 13.5 minutes in. It was in the 3rd minute where Nelia Perez found Rosie O'Neill to give Wake the lead. Babbitt again. Rolled to Fish. And she's got plenty of time and space. Played over the top. Great run. This is going to be a chance in on the breakaway. One-touch shot is over the top. It was Alexandra Kerr who had the opportunity. We'll get another look at it here. Good look from Fish, and a very well-played ball from about half. Dropped it in nicely. There just wasn't enough time for Kerr to settle it down. She had to play it one touch and couldn't quite get the knee over top to keep it down. But some great opportunities early for Wake FC, out shooting the Carolina Rapids 3-1 already. Fish on the near side finds Nelia Perez. She'll cut to the middle with it. Give and go with Rosie O'Neill. Doesn't have the option to give it back, so she'll hand it to Babbitt from 20 yards out. Rips one wide on the near side. There's a 4th shot towards goal. But you see a whole different confidence out of this Wake FC team here today than we saw through the first 3. But they stepped up and asserted themselves very nicely here in this one. McKelvey off the goal kick. Won a rare win for the Rapids on the initial ball, but controlled by Wake up the near side. Perez can't get to it, and it'll be a Rapids throw. Oh, pardon me, it'll be a Wake throw. And it'll be number 22, Delaney Graham, to toss it in. Short for Dominique Babbitt. Stopped on the near side of the field, can't keep it in. And we've talked about this before, but that near sideline can get a little bit confusing for some of these players who aren't as familiar with playing on a field like this where you have the baseball field and have that foul line coming parallel to the near sideline. Babbitt running circles right now. She'll lift one over the top for O'Neill. Beautiful pass, but she's offsides. That was a great play by Babbitt, and unfortunately, O'Neill ends up offsides. That's a tough play to make. You see the defender in the middle step up, and that's what put O'Neill offsides. But the way that Babbitt was able to scoop it over the top of that defensive line for the Carolina Rapids was a nifty little play. McKelvey off the goal kick, off the head of Fish for Wake FC. Another header, and it'll be controlled by Wake only momentarily. Pinballing around in the middle of the field. Played up for Taylor Wilcox of the Rapids, but out of her reach, Austin Bowling with the throw coming. Rapids in control. Near side, trapped down by Tori Templin. Templin's pass intercepted. Fish with it now in the middle of the field for Wake. Up the middle, coming from behind. She's challenged by Templin. Plays it through, nobody there for the blue jerseys. And it rolls all the way in on McKelvey. We'll go over all the starters for you here, too, just to let you know who's out on the field for Wake FC. Long ball through. We'll have to get to that in a moment. Lulu Fan puts it on goal. Great save, Berlin. It'll roll out of play for a corner. So we'll hold off on the players we have on the field for Wake here for a moment. And we get our first corner. And it'll be the Carolina Rapids with a chance to tie it up. And it looks like it'll be Brianna Morris, the Raleigh native, to take this kick. So she's in familiar territory. An alumna of Millbrook High School, playing her college soccer, and Charlotte for the 49ers. Played in nicely, tipped off the crossbar, and it'll be knocked out by Wake FC, but they dodge a bullet there. Pretty well played ball by Brianna Morris. Knocked right back in. And Berlin is there to grab the ball out of the air and look to boot this one away. Taylor Mitchell receives the roll from Berlin. Up for Perez. Plenty of space for Nelia Perez. Bounces it to the middle. One-touch pass out of the reach of Rosie O'Neill and cleared back up by the Rapids. It'll be scooped along to Nelia Perez once again. She's made a lot happen down on the near sideline. Clearance on the ground is knocked right back out. And it'll be a Wake throw. Delaney Graham to take the toss. We've got a couple of substitutions coming in.
For Wake FC, Corrine Chauvelin.
And Corrine Chauvelin will come into the game. And taking over for Nelia Perez. That's an interesting substitution, with the way that Perez has been able to make the runs down the sideline now. As I understand it, WPSL does not have any limits on substitutions. We saw a ton of them in the last game. And so this may just be to give her a little rest after making some runs. And taking a look at her on the far sideline, she does have her hands on her head, trying to recatch her breath. But Graham to take the throw for Wake, deep in the Rapids territory. And for Rosie O'Neill, tough battle. She wins it, though. Played across, and the outstretched arm of the keeper, McKelvey, can't get to it, but there's no one there for Wake to finish on the back door. Alexandra Kerr controls. Plays it to the middle, knocked down by the Rapids, but immediately played forward by Babbitt. Hard tackle in the middle of the field. And the ball squirts loose. It'll be poked out of play eventually. And it'll be a Carolina Rapids throw. That was Sydney Simmons making the play for Wake to stall that attack out. Well, we'll see Taylor Wilcox coming out, along with Aaron McCrae.
Number 17, Anna Fish.
And there are a couple more coming out as well. Julia Lenhart out also. So both of these teams active subbing players early, which is only a little bit surprising. It is still, warm, and I'm sure a little bit warmer down on the turf. But this has been one of the best weather days we've had in the Piedmont of North Carolina in a couple of weeks. Alexandra Kerr down the far side has it snuffed out, and the Rapids will clear it out. Emily Cowie up the far sideline, turned right back by the back line of Wake FC, and it'll be a Rapids throw. Well, for those of you who are tuning into your first game of the season here for the Wake FC, take a look at the schedule and how it's panned out so far for this WPSL squad. Throw in from half all the way up, flicked onward by Fawn, and then chipped back out. Settled down now by Graham to the near sideline, and played up for Rosie O'Neill. And we're going to get another look as we have a whistle and a foul. This will be a Rapids free kick. Again, that one's about body position. Babbitt just came into the back of the Rapids player who had the ball shielded well. And a nice play in. Berlin's out to get it. But Eliza Robinson made a nice ball into the box. Nobody there for the Rapids to make a play on it. Well, we're just about halfway through this first half. It was an early goal for Wake FC in the 3rd minute when Nelia Perez played it across for Rosie O'Neill, and a 1-0 lead. That was the 2nd goal of the season for O'Neill. And now Wake FC will stall out down on the near sideline. We've got substitutions ready to come in again.
Substitute for Wake FC.
Get a look.
Spruce is coming in.
Sydney Spruill coming in.
Number 9, Rosie.
Taking the place of Rosie O'Neill. We'll also see number 16, Sydney Simmons, coming off. We're waiting to get that last number coming back in. Looks like it'll be Emily Cardoso coming in. And we'll get set to restart play.
Number 20 coming in, Emily Cardozo. Number 16, Sydney Simmons.
But just a look at that Wake FC schedule. Of their 3 games, 2 of them have been played here at Ting Park. It was a 4-1 loss to the North Carolina Fusion, who have proven themselves to be one of the best teams, at least in the division so far, with a 4-0 record. Ball played through, Fawn coming out for it, and Berlin swallows it up as keeper for Wake FC. Rolled to the near sideline for Bowling, and she'll control. But a week after that, Oak City United came to town, and it was a tight contest, 1-0 win for Oak City. And then earlier this past weekend, this WPSL team for Wake went to Greensboro to take on the NC Fusion once more, and a much improved result. They did not come away with the win, but they played it tight and fell 2-1. So tonight, of course, Carolina Rapids in town, and in a little over, or about a week and a half, I should say, on Saturday the 15th, will be the next contest for Wake FC in Charlotte. They'll play at Huff High School against these same Rapids. McKelvey, goalkeeper for Carolina, rolls it to the far side. Back to McKelvey. And now a lot of pressure being applied by Wake FC. They're going to force a turnover as it's headed back forward. And now Babbitt will play it to the far sideline to Alexandra Kerr, who she got it from. Back to Babbitt. Babbitt spinning around, trying to get out of pressure. She was triple teamed there. Ends up having to play it back for Cardoso. Up the middle, Morris steals it away. Played forward on the ground. Nice challenge by Adair Warner. And she'll force it back forward for Wake FC. Turned back once more by the Rapids. They've been playing ping pong in the middle of the field. And we've got an offsides whistle as Carolina tried to play it through. That was Maggie Hoey who came in from the offside position. But we're starting to see a little bit more out of the Rapids. They're connecting some more passes together. But they still haven't been able to get too many great opportunities on goal the way, at least early, that Wake was able to. Free kick battled for, knocked backwards by the Rapids, and they've got some momentum moving forward. Play to the far sideline, the intended target being Julia Lindhart, and it was out of her reach. Couple substitution, or one substitution, I should say, as Nelia Perez comes back in, and Alexandra Kerr will have a seat. Perez receives it, and she's been very, as we mentioned, very disruptive on the near side. They've got her on the far side now. Plenty of space as it's moved across. Delaney Graham left to move through, rolled to the middle, and it's cleared back out. But Graham with it once more. Pressured hard from behind by Morris as it poked away, and now the Rapids have a chance to counter. Through ball played forward for Fawn, and it's cleared out by Adair Warner. Well, we talked a little bit earlier about the temperatures today, and particularly at the start of this game, how nice it has been here in the middle of North Carolina today. It had been gruelingly hot over the last few weeks, getting up into the low and mid-90s. In fact, breaking a record from back before 1950, just about a week ago, temperature-wise. So to have a little break in it and not have the temperatures rising up above the mid-80s, the humidity staying low, that's a big key for both of these teams. That's going to help them avoid cramps a little bit more. It's going to avoid some fatigue as well. Near side, Wake FC in control. Through ball. And it's a little bit behind the intended target, Sydney Spruill. Wake FC with the throw. Played across for Perez. Cleared out by the back line of the Rapids. And we're starting to see a little bit more of those long balls being played. And we'll see if that trend continues. We mentioned what was really working early for Wake FC was they did have a little bit more space, but they were moving the ball on the ground. And the best teams you see out here are going to be the best at keeping the ball under control, keeping it low, and being able to string together passes that way. Once the ball gets up, once it starts bouncing, especially playing on turf, which really is kind of a springboard for the ball with the rubber pellets underneath, it can be difficult to get the ball under control. We've got a whistle in the middle of the field. Emily Cardoso was taken down. You get another look at it here. She got a little bit tangled up, and another challenge from behind. This time it was Lulu Fan, a sophomore out of Guildford, England, playing her collegiate soccer at Queen's University of Charlotte. We mentioned this team based out of Charlotte, so a lot of Charlotte-based players on this team. So we take a look down the roster. Taylor Mitchell up to Babbitt. But in terms of Charlotte players, Brianna Morris playing with teammates Olivia McKelvey, who's in goal, as well as Julia Grainda. We haven't seen Grainda into the game yet, but those are the three 49ers on the roster. And include Madeline Bergaw, who has not entered the game yet either in that group, and a few Queens players as well. Nelia Perez working her way down the far side of the box. Has it poked away and cleared out. It'll be a throw for Wake. But in terms of Queens players, Lulu Fan, we mentioned. Anna Maria Evans has been out there as well. We've heard her name a couple times. Jada Palmer, a high school senior, has committed to play her collegiate soccer down in Charlotte for Queen's University. So she'll be headed there in the fall. Near sideline, Delaney Graham. Played forward looking for Sydney Spruill, but it's cleared back out. Just 15 minutes remaining in this first half as Taylor Mitchell controls in the middle of the field. Rolled forward, stolen by Brianna Morris. She'll force the ball forward and spur a run. Denied at the back line by Wake FC one more time. Babbitt turns to move it forward. Maddie Murphy to Chauvelin on the near side. Chauvelin back to Babbitt. Move forward for Spruill. Spruill cuts to the middle. Around her defender, she has space in the middle. Time for a shot, and it's blocked by Jada Palmer. Now Morris. Move forward for Fawn. And it'll be controlled on that far sideline. Nice job saving it. You got to pull out the binoculars to reach the far sideline, but that was Austin Bowling saving that one. And now she'll get a throw out of it. Into the 32nd minute. And since that 3rd minute goal, things have really calmed down. It certainly gave Wake a little bit of extra energy. You saw them push and push and push. And they're still showing just 3 shots towards goal. As a long one skips past Berlin for a goal kick. But I believe it's 4 shots, by my count at least, at the target for Wake FC here. And most of those came in about the first 15 to 20 minutes. They moved the ball well. It was crisp and clean and fast. And it looked like the Rapids weren't going to be able to keep up. And based on the first about 5 to 10 minutes of that game, you'd have thought we'd be looking at a 2 or 3-0 lead for Wake at this point. But it's tightened up a little bit for Carolina. They've cleaned up some of those holes that they had left. Now they still are kind of back on their heels defensively, but they've at least been able to manage the attack of Wake a little bit better.
Coming on, number 8, Tori Templin.
A substitution coming in. Julia Lenhart back out.
Carolina Rapids.
As the goal kick comes from Berlin. Trapped down by Chauvelin, but right to a Rapids player in Eliza Robinson. Robinson tries to clear it to the far sideline. It's popped up, trapped down by Morris for Carolina. To the near sideline, Maggie Hoey. Hoey has it towed away. Saved on the near side by Anna Maria Evans. Across, played on a hop by Eliza Robinson. Back and now through. And all the way down to the back line. Hoey tries to get to it, can't save it on the goal line. And we'll get a goal kick once again for Jessica Berlin. One more substitution coming in. As Corinne Chauvelin comes out. And she'll trade places with number 11, Alexandra Kerr. Berlin will play it short off the goal kick. Taylor Mitchell clears it up the near side, flicked onward by Perez, and then off the head of Anna Maria Evans for Carolina. So a break caught by Wake FC. They'll have a throw, but we'll wait for the substitution. And it's Evans for the Rapids coming out. Throw will be taken by Delaney Graham for Wake FC once we get restarted. It'll be interesting to see. We've seen a ton of substitutions early, which is a little bit surprising. We hadn't seen this many this early. There were plenty of them coming late in that last game here at Ting Park. But here, with the temperatures and the humidity the way it is, I would have thought there'd be a little bit fewer substitutions than we've seen so far. You'd expect to see some rested players out there in the second half. Sydney Spruill turns out of pressure. She's going to get past the defender, has a chance on goal, and a nice save made by McKelvey on that rolling shot. So the two teams will move forward. Wake has been great out of the air, which when you look at the rosters is only slightly surprising. Some taller ladies out there for the Rapids, as they don't have too many people below about 5'6" or 5'5". And we've got a free kick coming just inside of half for the Rapids. Couple substitutions as Wake FC will get set for the free kick. Dominique Babbitt coming out, along with Emily Cardoso and Maddie Murphy. The free kick will come from Eliza Robinson, a couple yards inside of half. She's played a nice ball in already. She'll do it again, and Berlin comes out to get it, absorbs some contact as she does so. But nice confidence there from your goalkeeper for Wake FC. Under 10 minutes left in the first half. It's been it was an exciting start, quick and fast movement from Wake FC led to that goal in the 3rd minute by Rosie O'Neill. And then slowly the Rapids have kind of put the clamps down on the Wake attack and stymied it out a tad. Mitchell plays it forward over the top. It'll be a race for the ball, and McKelvey gets to it first. Well shielded by Jada Palmer, the center back, to allow her keeper to get out to it in time. Near sideline, Aaron McCrae possesses for the Rapids. Slides it up the near sideline for Hoey. Drop back to the back line where it's deflected deeper by Wake FC. Maggie O'Neill got a piece of it. Not enough to get possession, though. Blocking the clearance right in front. That was number 14, Sydney Spruill, but that's that hustle and aggressive play. And this is just a little bit too nonchalant for McKelvey. And Rapids get lucky that took such a high hop. If you're on natural grass, that may stay down and end up in the net. But that's that big difference we've seen. And the reason that Wake FC has the advantage right now is defensively they've been more aggressive. Now another chance for Spruill. She's in on a breakaway, and a nice sliding stop by McKelvey to keep the score 1-0. Stolen away by Wake FC. Another save made by McKelvey, and that time with the foot. Well, I'm surprised the Rapids need to be patting their keeper on the head after that one. A turnover in a terrible spot. It wasn't a solid shot from Maggie O'Neill. She didn't get some great contact on it, but enough to force a save from McKelvey. And there were two great stops, 2 quick stops from the Rapids keeper. And now it'll be a goal or a corner kick for Wake FC. And a Fish to play it in. High arcing cross headed out of danger by the Rapids back line. Still controlled by Wake, though. To the near sideline, Taylor Mitchell plays it across right to the back post off the head of Fish. She can't put it on goal. It'll be laid back. The shot on goal, they score. 2-0 Wake FC in the 38th minute. We'll get another look at it, and it'll be tough to tell from this angle. I think Wake got a little bit lucky. You get a look at Fish, knocked it backwards, and she had to rush to get on sides. I'm not sure if she was for the shot. And it was Kerr who finished that one.
Skylar to the press box, please.
So a 2-0 lead for Wake FC. They've got 5 shots on goal here in the first half. They have been very aggressive, and this just looks like a completely different team than we saw a couple weeks ago. They've got control once again. Perez on the near side. Tried to play it with a back heel, couldn't keep it in play. And a throw in quickly for the Rapids to the middle of the field. Trapped down by Robinson. Played through for Hoey, cleared out by Delaney Graham for Wake FC. Another block on a cross by Wake. And it's knocked all the way back to the defense of Carolina. And they'll look to possess. You can see a real ebb and flow to this game. And you can see how the substitutions in have actually changed the play of this game. As a dangerous chance in front for the Rapids cleared out by Delaney Graham. Carolina still in possession. Aaron McCrae plays it across. And it's knocked down and out by Anna Fish. Fish finds Rosie O'Neill, the first goal scorer of the game. Controlled to the near side for Perez. She'll lift one through, or it is shielded by the back line. Emily Cowie, the clearance, which trickles up the far side. Great pressure by Bowling. She can't keep it in bounds, so a throw in for the Rapids as we approach the final 5 minutes of half number 1.
Number 30, Niall Wanapor. For number 14, Sydney Spruce.
So I'll get a couple substitutions coming in. Looks like the Rapids will mix up their back line. Jada Palmer out. And Anna Maria Evans is back in.
For number 8, Tori Taylor.
That's an interesting combo to get a look at. Anna Maria Evans and Jada Palmer. Now, they aren't in at the same time, obviously, now, but both defenders who will be headed to Queen's University of Charlotte. And we'll get another look at the foul that just occurred. But it's been all about the challenges from behind here today. 2-0 Wake FC as we head into the 42nd minute. Brianna Morris, long ball, takes one skip to the keeper. It's interesting to see because we've seen a lot of long free kicks for the Rapids here in this first half. And they haven't come from the middle of the field, so I'm surprised to see more vertical deliveries on those kicks rather than across the field a little more and away from the goal where Berlin isn't able to corral it, which she's done on just about every one. Ball rolls out of play on the near side as Delaney Graham couldn't hold it in on the near sideline. So the Rapids with a throw, quickly double-teamed, and it just tipped off the toe of Nelia Perez, who doesn't give an argument. Throw in for the Rapids. Played across, off the head of Bowling and out. Right back in by Morris. Tough time to trap it for Eliza Robinson, and Wake FC takes control. Long ball from the keeper, Berlin. Shielded out of play by the Rapids defense. And Erin McCrae gets the throw-in. Not great selection on the throw, headed right back by Wake FC's Sydney Spruill. And cleared out of play by the Rapids. In for Wanopor. Rolled to the middle of the field. Challenged by Anna Maria Evans. And the Rapids take control. Across, denied by Spruill. And furthered by number 11, Alexandra Kerr. Out of bounds, Rapids throw. Carolina possesses on their back line. Kelly Flanders plays one to the near sideline and a missed touch. Well, I'm not sure she even got a foot on it. McCrae let that ball roll right under her foot. And a turnover throw in for Wake FC. Chested down by Rosie O'Neill. Swiped away by McCrae, making up for the mistake. She'll make a run down the far sideline. Just saved it in on the line. Rolls it across, and Anna Fish there to clear it out of danger. Maggie Hoey near sideline. Play to the middle for McGraw. Now down to the sideline for McCrae. Played across. One-touch clearance. Doesn't get very far for Taylor Mitchell. Fortunately, Fish there to push it to the near sideline. Delaney Graham clears it up, looking for Wanopor. She can't control. And Emily Cowie gets it out. Trapped down by the Rapids, a chance on top of the 18-yard box. But that back line for Wake FC holds strong. Nelia Perez, challenged from behind by Erin McCrae. Turns out of that pressure. Up for Graham. A run on for Wake FC. Graham to the middle, and it bounces over the outstretched foot of Alexandra Kerr. It'll end up as a goal kick for the Carolina Rapids and their goalkeeper, Olivia McKelvey. Oh, we should be getting an indication on our stoppage time here very soon. Just as I say that, we get the announcement, 2 minutes of added time here in the first half. So it sounds like one for each goal. And Taylor Mitchell will play it back to her keeper, Jessica Berlin. Back to Mitchell in the near corner. And we're seeing a little bit of a different tactic today. I talked about how it was kind of all forward and over the top for Wake FC through their first few games. But you see it there, too, the way they've used the back line. And this is what's worked well for the USL 2 team as well. And that's just soccer in general. You want to create as much space as possible. And we saw Mitchell in that case move it all the way back to the goal line and force the Rapids to move forward and stretch out their formation, which has created those holes that Wake FC used so well early on in the game. Anna Fish in the middle of the field. She'll look to play it through, denied by Cowie, who traps it and moves it forward. Finds a teammate in Eliza Robinson. She'll make a run through the middle. Sproul there to stop that. Just under 90 ticks left in the first half stoppage time. And in case you missed the announcement, 2 minutes of added time, so only about a minute and 15 seconds left in the half as Wanopor makes a run up the middle. And it's cleared out by the Rapids defense. It gets stalled out near half. Maggie Hoey in control. Back for Morris. And now Taylor Mitchell with it. She drops to the turf. No foul whistle there. I don't think that was a bad call. She just went to lean on an opponent, and there was nobody there to lean on. All the way back to Jessica Berlin. And just as we talked about, Wake looking to stretch out that formation for the Carolina Rapids. About 30 ticks left in the first half now. Amelia Perez near side. To the middle for O'Neill. Played all the way back to Mitchell as they can't find a way through. Again, Perez. Challenged from behind by McCray. Mitchell plays it forward knowing there's not much time left. Trapped down by O'Neill. She'll play it through. On the run, Wanopor. And she can't beat the defender to it. As Anna Maria Evans clears it out of danger. And as it rolls out of play, we get the halftime whistle. An early goal in the first 5 minutes from Rosie O'Neill made it 1-0. And in the 38th minute, Alexandra Kerr put one home from the top of the 18-yard box. It's 2-0 Wake FC after the first half. We'll be back with the second half here shortly.
David Lasher will be taking over the second half with Jonathan Kamen up here. And Sam and AJ and Justin will be up here. So thank you very much, and I hope to see you back again in just 2 or 3 weeks.
Now's a good time to head to the concessions. Chick-fil-A offering up some delicious options still. Sandwiches, nuggets, cookies, chips, water, all Chick-fil-A.
Rapids, and it has shown. She's created a lot of opportunities. She was even the one to get the ball in initially before it was cleared out for the second goal by Alexandra. McKelvey here in the second half. But McKelvey, got to give McKelvey a lot of credit. She faced 5 shots on goal, stopped 3 of them, and a couple of fantastic ones back-to-back near the end of the first half that kept the has kept the Rapids in this. One good bounce has them within 1, can flip the momentum, and certainly she would be a big reason for that should they make the comeback here in half number 2. Wake FC still in control. Perez back to the middle for Spruill. And back to the back line. But this has been a great improvement of this WPSL team. And I think it's just something that comes with familiarity and confidence. I think they were a little bit, I don't know if impatient was the right word, but antsy, a little anxious at the beginning of the season. And so you saw a lot of quick touches that were just played up and over the top without too much thought to them other than, get it out, get it forward, and let somebody try and get to it. And now you see they'll move it to the back line. They keep it on the floor as much as they possibly can, and they control and possess. They've done a fantastic job of that here in this game. Mitchell with it for Wake. Up for Fish. Now Perez. Perez knocked down from behind. She's going to stay down and hold a knee. Wake still in control, moving it forward on the far sideline. Rosie O'Neill can't keep it in bounds. And now Perez will get up and walk it off. So it looks like she'll be okay. No substitution coming in for her yet. But she'll talk to her bench for a moment to let them know she's okay. So she will stay in the game. No noticeable limp or anything of that nature. She may just have been trying to draw attention to the contact and get a foul, which unfortunately she did not get there. And the Rapids in control after the throw. O'Neill steals it away. Babbitt with it. She'll poke it through. Tries to get it past Cowie. Can't do so. But Wake still in control. Beautiful trap by Perez as she forces it to the outside. Held on the far sideline. Speeds past the defense. Rolled through the middle, and Rosie O'Neill can't finish. There's another chance, and it's over the top. But a couple of good chances once again here early. And we've got another Wake player. Well, look, just a little bit of frustration there for Dominique Babbitt, who got that second shot. We'll get a look at it here. Another great cross. Cowie clears it out, but Babbitt there and just a little too far underneath it. So Esposito, the keeper, to clear this one out. Wake has been very good winning balls out of the air. They haven't gotten the first ball. They've won that second ball. As O'Neill steps up and gets a head on one before it even comes down. And it's controlled by Wake. Babbitt to the middle, where she's got Fish. Anna Fish rolled to the near sideline for Bowling. All the way back to Adair Warner. And she'll play it for Berlin. Taylor Mitchell on the ground for Babbitt. And Babbitt has been a key for this team. Scored the first goal of the season. As Perez plays it through, O'Neill has a chance to make a run. She'll be shielded off by Cowie in the corner. And Cowie holds it on the goal line. And now she's got time to move it forward. Perez will steal the pass away, knocks it off of a Rapids defender. That gets it right back, and now she'll go down again. So we'll have to keep an eye on Perez. She's on her feet, but not 100% right now. To the near sideline, Rapids on the counter. And the ball will roll out on the goal line, denied by Bowling. Corner coming for the Carolina Rapids. And as I look across the field, Perez walking again. Something, though, seems to be nagging her with that right foot or ankle. So we'll keep an eye on her, see if there's anything that comes of that, or if it progresses throughout this second half. 5 minutes into half number 2. Couple of chances already for Wake. This will be the first great opportunity of the half for the Rapids. Corner being taken by Eliza Robinson. Lofts one in, and it's off the fingertips of Berlin. Need in on goal, and Berlin gets a hand on it to make the save. But that was an understated save for Jessica Berlin, because that's a momentum changer and a big one for the Rapids if that ends up in the back of the net. Babbitt in control for Perez. That's been a dangerous combo for the blue jerseys here today. Through ball played back to the keeper, Esposito. Now Flanders to the far sideline. Stolen away by Perez. She looks to get past Anna Maria Evans. Evans takes her down. We're not going to get a whistle, and it'll be a goal kick. Now you get a look at that corner again here. Well played ball, maybe a little shallow. And Berlin got a piece of it. You saw Kelly Flanders come in on the follow and tip it on goal. Great reactionary save by Jessica Berlin. Amanda Esposito out of Winthrop University will take the goal kick. Low liner. We saw O'Neill step in front of it last time. A little bit over her head this time, but it's played back forward by Wake's midfield. Perez forces a play, and it'll be a throw-in for Wake FC as she forced the Rapids defense to knock it out of bounds. Throw in for Babbitt. One-touch pass forward for Perez. Perez turns past Evans, plays it across, tipped further, where it can be scooped up by Esposito. And another chance to control for the Rapids. Space through the middle. Babbitt closing it down now. Let's move to the far sideline. Rapids still in control. Rolled forward for Lulu Fawn. Fawn double teamed, has it tipped away and stolen by Sydney Spruill. Anna Fish was in there as well. That'll be dropped back to Mitchell. Mitchell steps off of the back line. She'll push one forward to Perez. Looking for the overlapping run from Babbitt. It wasn't there. And we've got a throw for the Rapids. There will be a substitution coming in here in just a moment for Wake FC. It'll be Corrine Chauvelin who comes in on the next Wake throw. Into the middle, Fish has control for Wake. Played onto the ground to the near side. She cut to the middle. One-time shot from Fish is over the top, and it'll be a goal kick. And now we get our substitution. Corrine Chauvelin coming into the game. And wait to see who comes out. Not too much of a surprise to see that it is Nelia Perez who will get a break. Chauvelin coming in her place. And immediately she's going to get looked at over on the far sideline. Might just need to stretch out, which is a little bit surprising with the temperature and the humidity where it is today. But we'll keep an eye on her over at the Wake bench, see if anything comes of it. Goal kick here for Amanda Esposito and the Carolina Rapids. 2-0 lead for Wake FC. It started early, a 3-minute tally from Maggie O'Neill, and then into the final 10 minutes of the half, we saw Alexandra Kerr double that Wake lead. And we'll get another look at that last foul. But those goal kicks really low line drives, and a nice job by the center official to make that call as Brianna Morris had her left arm tied up by Dominique Babbitt. Long ball played forward, takes a hop, and it's controlled by Fawn. The flag goes up, and she's offside, and she's upset. I thought she might have stayed onside. It's all about where she is when the ball is played and when it's last touched by a teammate. I didn't think anyone touched it on the way through that crowd, but it will be a free kick right at the top of the 18-yard box for Jessica Berlin. And Brianna Morris coming off. She'll be replaced by Madeline Berga. And Berlin with a high arching clearance off the chest of Chauvelin. Back to Anna Fish. Played back looking for Mitchell. It was blocked, and now Fawn will float one in, hoping to catch Berlin off guard, but she's back on her goal line to make that save. Just over 10 minutes in to this second half. Both teams with a couple of chances towards goal. Nobody able to tally yet in the second 45 minutes. Near sideline bowling in control for Wake. Played back all the way to the keeper in Berlin. This has been a good look for Wake FC, the way they've controlled it from the back, moved it forward systematically, and found those gaps and those open passing lanes. Spruill to the far side for Chauvelin. Back to Spruill. She'll play it over the top and down the far sideline where she's got Corinne Chauvelin. Chauvelin challenged and has it stolen. Well played by Evans on the back line for the Rapids. She'll clear it forward, but Taylor Mitchell there to stop it. And Wake moves it back the other way. Babbitt in the middle. Scrambling to control. Can't move it forward, but Mitchell does. To Chauvelin. Into the middle, looking for Fish. One-touch pass, too strong for Maggie O'Neill. On a high punt, and the ball headed forward. Maggie O'Neill, a chance to get to it, but she's beaten to it by the goalkeeper Esposito, and conversation being had in the middle of the field by Eliza Robinson and the head official, because she got ran into pretty stiffly from behind without a whistle. And that may have been a play of advantage, although with the ball going all the way back to the keeper, you would have thought they would have brought it back for the free kick. Either way, we're back in play, and it's Wake in control on the near side. Alexandra Kerr being given plenty of space. She'll cut to the middle and push it backwards for Babbitt from just outside the 18-yard box. Her shot is blocked, and Maggie Hoey will take control. Hoey can't hold on, and so it'll be a throw on the far sideline for Wake SC. Delaney Graham plays it forward, taken on a couple hops by O'Neill. Back for Babbitt, stolen away and cleared out by the Rapids. Lulu Fawn. She finds space on the far side of the field. Goes down, and she'll draw the whistle as we get another look at it. Really, all the fouls we've seen have been these challenges from behind. We get another look at the play here, as Babbitt just couldn't get behind the play in time to make that challenge. So a free kick. We've seen a lot from about that same area. And again, it's more of a vertical ball in, played on a hop by Berlin. An easy one to corral. Not much of an opportunity for the Rapids there. Those free kicks need to go more across the field. Usually your target, and a lot of times it's easier to hit from further in, but you kind of want to go even with the far side of the 6-yard box, because it keeps it far enough away from the goalkeeper, especially if you can put it right about on the corner of the goal kick box. As it's flicked onward, now a chance for Wake FC. Anna Fish turns it back to the middle, played right back by Kerr. Fish can't connect, and it'll be cleared out by the Rapids. A throw-in on the defensive half of the field for Austin Bowling. This half moving along steadily. We're just about 15 minutes in. Still looking for our first goal of the half. Wake FC, I'm sure, wouldn't be opposed to just running the clock and continuing to possess as Maggie O'Neill comes out. We're going to look at the substitution here in just a sec. It'll be a throw-in for Wake FC. Austin Bowling ready to deliver it. And she'll play it forward, looking for Kerr. Kerr traps it down with the chest. Into the middle for Babbitt, back to Bowling. And she'll play it, well, try to play it up the line. Hit it off a teammate in Kerr, and the Rapids possess now. Back to the defensive line, and the clearance deflects off of a foot. That's Sydney Sproul who's back in control. Sydney Simmons can't hold on to it for long. The Rapids play it across. Graham there in the back line to clear it out. Babbitt traps it down with the right foot. Handed off for Simmons. Rolled forward for Chauvelin. Looking for Simmons. It's stolen away by Julia Lenhart. And now a chance again for the Rapids. Through ball denied by Mitchell. Right back to the Rapids, though. Near side, it's Taylor Wilcox. To the middle for Fawn. And she has it stripped. Sliding challenge disrupts the pass, but Wake controls. Austin Bowling. And Bowling given a lot of time there to clear that out with a defender right within about 2 or 3 yards of her. Bowling forward. Now Babbitt. Fish drops it back for Sydney Simmons. And they'll play it all the way across for Delaney Graham. Into the 62nd minute we go. Graham with some speed. Plays it through, and Sproul can't connect. Emily Cowie there to clear it. We do have another substitution waiting at the half stripe to come in. And here's Taylor Mitchell moving forward. Over for Graham as they cross half. And Mitchell again. Rolled forward for Sydney Sproul. She's got some space. Played forward for Chauvelin down the far sideline. And it'll be cleared out on the goal line by the left back and Anna Maria Evans. And we've got a corner coming up. Anna Fish will take it for Wake. Will be their first corner of the half. We do have a substitution in.
Number 4, Maddie Murphy coming in.
Maddie Murphy into the game, taking the place of Anna Fish. So we thought Fish was going to take that corner, but can't take it from the sidelines. So it'll have to be someone else. And it will be Dominique Babbitt. Babbitt will head over to that far corner. Wake's got a slew of players scattered near the near post. This one will be played out towards the top of the 18-yard box and cleared all the way out. Bowling meets it and slides it to the far sideline for Babbitt. Babbitt has some space. Cuts past a defender, rolled to the middle for Sproul, and back to Babbitt for the cross. It's into the middle, cleared out by Cowie. Settled down out at the top of the box by Simmons. Back for Mitchell. Attack mode on for Wake now. To the far sideline, Chauvelin with space. She'll roll it forward. Sydney Sproul traps it down, and she's offsides. So this kick will come deep in that far quarter for Wake FC. Or for the Carolina Rapids, pardon me. Amanda Esposito, the keeper, will take the kick. Again, this is something that Wake has had a huge advantage on. This time, Fawn in possession as it's flicked onward to her. Played down the far sideline, and now a run on for the Rapids. Mitchell challenging. Rolled to the middle. Space for Fawn. She'll take a rip, and it's just over the crossbar. Great opportunity for the Carolina Rapids. We'll get another look at it here. As you see, Maggie Hoey down the near side does a nice job getting some space as Mitchell was denying her the line down the far sideline, and a beautiful pass across that finds Fawn in space for one of the best opportunities that we've seen for the Rapids here in this one. Babbitt in control now for Wake. Far sideline near half. She'll stall. And her pass intended for Chauvelin is a little bit too far behind her to reach. And our throw in for the Rapids. Pushed forward. And now played on a through ball headed right back out by Simmons. Cowie with it. Stolen away, tipped to Chauvelin. And they'll play pinball in the middle of the field. Simmons Bounced forward, trapped down by Sproul. On the ground, she's got Maddie Murphy to the near sideline. Alexandra Kerr. Chance brewing here for Wake FC. Rolled through the middle, deflected back out in front, and cleared out for a corner as the Rapids dodge a bullet. We'll get another look at that chance here. Pretty well played ball through by Kerr. Takes all the space that she's given. Cleared out there by Cowie, and a nice hustle by the defense of the Rapids to make sure that loose ball out in front didn't end up in their net. So a corner on the near side of the field will once again be Babbitt to take it. It was a pretty solid opportunity to score the last time through. They kept the ball in the danger area for quite a while before it was finally cleared out by the Rapids. We'll see if they can finish this one. 66 minutes gone as the play to the back post is cleared out by the Rapids. Mitchell was there for Wake FC, couldn't get ahead on it. Still loose in the middle of the box. The turning shot denied off the foot of Murphy. It'll be another corner as it's deflected off of a defender and out of play. So 66 minutes down, 24 to go. Once again, Babbitt will take the corner. Wake FC ready to make another substitution as well. They're a sub up for each side at half. And they should be coming in soon. Babbitt will play it in. Nice high arcing cross that bounces through harmlessly. Tracked down on the near sideline by Maggie O'Neill, and a sliding challenge made cleanly by Madeline Berga. And it'll be a throw-in for Wake FC. Well, the substitutions will make their way off. It'll be Sydney Sibbins being replaced, if I saw the number correctly, by Emily Cardoso. And looks like Tori Templin will be heading in place of Taylor Wilcox for the Rapids. Bowling will take the throw for Wake here. And she does have a teammate down there. It appears that would be Alexandra Kerr. They may try and make a quick one-touch pass back to Bowling for the cross. Instead, they'll go to the middle with it. Cowie steps up off the back line and clears it out. And then it's deflected out of play for a Wake throw. And you can see a lot of space there for Bowling. Nobody in it as now Babbitt steps in to receive the throw. Dropped back for Bowling. And she's going to play it all the way back to her center back, Taylor Mitchell, to create some space. Mitchell over the top forward, denied by the back line. Bowling gets ahead on it for Wake. Flicked onward by the heel of Dominique Babbitt, who steps up in a challenge and toes it out of play. The wind picking up just a tad here as the temperature cools down a bit more with the sun no longer in play. Bowling knocks it off of a Rapid and all the way down. They're going to have to try and save it on the goal line to avoid a goal kick, and it'll be cleared out for a throw-in in the corner by the keeper, Amanda Esposito. That was a smart play made by the defender down there. And that was Jada Palmer, who conceded that ball to her keeper, who had a better angle to keep it from becoming a corner. Bowling deep in Rapid territory will take this throw. A couple of teammates making runs. She finds Maggie O'Neill. And O'Neill has it knocked out of play for yet another throw. Now Carolina's got a substitution coming in. Number 21, Eliza Robinson, will get a breather for the Rapids. And it'll be number 78, Wiley Cucko, taking her place. Cucko, a native of Cornelius, North Carolina, playing her collegiate soccer at Jacksonville State. Just finished up her freshman season back in the fall. Throw in for O'Neill. She turns to the middle, finds space, shot on goal. Great save made by Amanda Esposito. That was a sneaky little shot from Maggie O'Neill, short side, and Esposito was ready for it. Far sideline, Rapids in control, can't save it and keep it in bounds, so it'll be a throw in here for Wake FC. We're through 70 minutes now. It's been, in terms of goal scoring, an uneventful second half. It's been very evenly played, very well played. Both teams have worked it through and gotten a couple of chances, a couple of nice challenges on the goalkeepers that they've had to make saves on, and they've been up to the task. Played forward, counterattack on for the Rapids. Lulu Fawn playing it through, stopped up by Austin Bowling, and cleared further by Adair Warner. Still in Rapids control. Tori Templin flicks it forward, but Wake there to gobble it up all the way back to the keeper, and Jessica Berlin. Taylor Mitchell now, and she's just going to hold it there. This is what we saw happen in the USL2 game, the last USL2 game here, I should say, where Wake just continued to force their opponent to move forward and pressure them. But if you're Wake, there's no reason to force anything right now with a 2-goal lead. And so they'll take their time and make Carolina come to them. Through the middle, lots of speed here. As Sydney Spruill plays it through on the far sideline, looking for Delaney Graham. And we'll get another look at that last shot from Maggie O'Neill. This was the best opportunity of the half for Wake. Nice little Cruyff move there. And curled it in towards the near post. And luckily for the Rapids, Spruill didn't get in there quickly. But that was a great chance. Even maybe a little bit better than I could tell from up here. Now we're now through 72 minutes here at Ting Park in Holly Springs. Another great opportunity into the middle, blocked away, and Wake will control at the top of the box. Taken back by the Rapids, moved forward for Tori Templin. Templin challenged. Loose ball, and they'll blow the whistle. Advantage lost for the Rapids, as it looked like Bowling got caught up there and clipped the foot of Templin here. Just didn't quite get to it soon enough to get the ball. So another free kick for the Rapids. It'll be lifted down the near side. There to push it back forward is Austin Bowling, and she was a little bit gimpy coming out of that. Seems to be okay now. And Wake in control. Long pass forward, denied by Anna Maria Evans. Still Wake ball to the near sideline for Bowling. And that awkward landing didn't seem to have affected her. She's cutting nicely there. Up for O'Neill. Tough trap. Plays it back for Bowling at half. Into the middle, Cardoso. Steps past a defender. Up the middle for O'Neill. O'Neill handled nicely by Jada Palmer. Turn to Cowie. And rolled to the far sideline for Evans. And Evans has been a big mismatch on that far side. Now, unfortunately for Wake, we haven't seen that mismatch as much here in the second half because Nelia Perez has taken a little bit of a beating, a couple of tough challenges that left her less than 100%, we'll say. She came out a little while ago and has not returned. And as a matter of fact, she is still sitting over there on the sideline, but she has not made any movement to go back in, and she's been a huge catalyst on the offensive end for Wake. She's been able to move it forward quickly and catch the Rapids off balance defensively, which has created some of the best chances for the Blue Jerseys here in this game. Throw in for Wake. Well, the Rapids threw it in first. They'll have to take it back and restart that play. It'll be a throw right around half for Wake FC. Still 2-0 in favor of the home team as Wake is in control. Moved into the center and cleared out by Jada Palmer. This is a chance to counter for the Rapids if they can move it quickly. Lenhart stalled out, and it's stolen away, but not legally. We'll get another look at that one a little closer. I believe it was Sydney Sproul whistled on this one. And it'll be Delaney Graham. It actually looked like a pretty good challenge. Poked it away between her legs. And just a little stumble there is what drew the officials' attention. So, free kick right around half for Anna Maria Evans of the Carolina Rapids. And she'll actually switch places. It'll be Emily Cowie, the defender from App State, to take this one. And again, they've all been more vertical than across the field. I think they need to get a little bit more across the field. And the header forward by Mitchell has left a Rapids player shaken up a bit. That's Madeline Braga. The center official will check on her, and we're going to have to take a stoppage. But I don't know if it was head-on-head contact there or if it was just the ball. And she's going to head off the field. Again, that's number 15, Madeline Braga, over at her bench now, taking a seat. As you get a look a little closer there, it's tough to tell from as far away as I was, and it happened very quickly. But she may have taken the forehead of Taylor Mitchell to the back of her own head on that one. It was either that or the ball, and the ball came in really hot off of Taylor Mitchell. And so that free kick ends up with an injury, unfortunately, for the Rapids. We'll keep an eye on her on the far sideline. Ball played over the top. Tracking it down, Sydney Sproul, challenged by Anna Maria Evans, who will play it out of bounds on the far sideline just to avoid that counterattack. Delaney Graham to throw it in. We'll have to wait for a substitution. Austin Bowling being replaced for Wake FC. And it'll be number 3, Kristen Jensen, the freshman from Campbell University, a native of Raleigh, North Carolina, stepping in. On the far sideline, Wake in control, moving it down the goal line, and Emily Cowie there to clear it out. Stripped right back by Graham, but she can't keep it in play, and it'll be a goal kick for the Carolina Rapids. Amanda Esposito to take the kick. Time's starting to run out on the Rapids. Down to about 12 minutes left before stoppage time. They've had a couple of chances here in the second half. The best one came off the knee of Kelly Flanders on the goal kick, and it was well handled, I should say, by Jessica Berlin, who had to make a quick reaction on the stop. Other than that, there haven't been too many chances and too many threats from the Rapids. Far sideline, Sproul has control for Wake. Taking her time against Evans. Splits the legs and crosses it forward, flicked onward and out of bounds. On the goal line, they'll say it last hit a Rapids defender. Jada Palmer was the one in the vicinity. And so we'll get another corner kick, the third one of the half for Wake FC. Once again, it'll be Babbitt with Anna Fish on the bench who will take it. So Babbitt sets this one up, and she may go short to Mitchell. But Mitchell now will move into the middle. So this will be a normal corner kick through the middle. Mitchell can't get ahead on it as she's bodied up, and it'll be cleared out by the Rapids. Stepping up, Jensen. Long trap, settles it down with the outside of the foot, and moves it to the middle for Maddie Murphy. Dropped back and played to the near side for Jensen, rolled forward. In control, Murphy steps forward, plays a through ball down the near side of the box, and it'll be controlled only momentarily by Wake before it's cleared back out. Taylor Harrison couldn't get it across. Jensen challenging Lulu Fawn, who steps past her, but the loose change cleaned up by Murphy. And now Jensen steps up to the loose ball. Forces it forward, cleared right back out. There to control, Emily Cardoso. Now Jensen picks up the miscue off the bad pass from the Rapids. To the middle for Cardoso again. Over to Sproul, steps past Evans. She cuts past another defender in Cowie before Evans gets back in front and forces it to the far sideline. Delaney Graham, the defender, steps forward. Bodies up Evans, knocks her to the ground, still in possession. Into the middle for Sproul. Now Babbitt has it near the top of the box. And back out for Graham. Under 10 minutes to play. In regulation time, we should have a minute or so of stoppage based on what we've seen so far in this half. But a fairly comfortable lead right now at 2-0 for Wake FC. Another substitution for the Rapids as Lulu Fan comes out. And Fan will be replaced by number 21, Eliza Robinson, up on top of the formation for the Rapids. Short goal kick, poked up in the air. Babbitt controls for Wake FC, plays it over the top, and Sproul once again offsides. It'll be a free kick for the Rapids. Well, we talked about it a little bit earlier. A little over a week off for this Wake FC team and the WPSL before they get back in action. They'll be down in Charlotte for a doubleheader. That's going to be... Well, it'll be interesting to see how that works out on the schedule. That may change. Now, Lake Norman and Charlotte pretty much go hand in hand geographically as it's played down the near sideline for Maggie O'Neill. Stepping in front, the defender, Palmer, will shield it down the goal line, and we'll get a goal kick. But the next contest on the schedule for Wake FC's WPSL squad will be Saturday, June 15th, down in Charlotte at Huff High School, where they'll take on this same Rapids team. So a couple substitutions coming in, Babbitt and Cardoso out. And we'll take a look at who's coming back in here. As Anna Fish comes back in. But Fish back in along with Sydney Simmons. So Sydney Simmons and Anna Fish back in for Wake FC. But the next game, as we mentioned, slated for the 15th, a 6 p.m. start for the Rapids and Wake FC down in Charlotte. Now, there is another game listed to start at 8 p.m. and not at the same location. Even so, back-to-back games, even in the same location, like right after each other, would be very, very difficult. So I would imagine that one might actually be a Sunday game against Lake Norman Eclipse at Pine Lake Prep. But only 4 games left on the schedule and 1 at home as the Rapids give up another. We'll get another look at it here as the lead moves to 3-0. Bouncing ball down that far sideline, handled nicely by Sproul. And that right sideline cross has been great. And a beautiful flick onward by Taylor Harrison. But it comes in the 83rd minute. And again, Taylor Harrison. 3-0 Wake FC. But beautiful touch off the head of Harrison to make it 3-0. And now this one's all about running out the clock for Wake FC. And just continuing to move the ball around and get a feel for each other. Stepping up, Brianna Morris with the challenge. She steals it away to the middle. Played through and just behind her teammate Julia Lenhart. And Lenhart, maybe outside of Lulu Fond, came, at least in the United States, came from the furthest away for the Rapids. Plays her collegiate soccer at Oklahoma State, and a native of Frisco, Texas. Sproul to the far sideline for Wake, has it stolen away. Anna Maria Evans to the middle. And Brianna Morris steps up for it. Morris challenged from behind. She'll stumble and lose control. No whistle. We play on as Wake takes over. Sproul again on the far side. To Simmons. Drop back for Graham. And we're starting to see the Rapids crank up the pressure. And it'll be a throw in here for Wake. Only about 5 minutes till we hit stoppage time. Played through, looking for Harrison, who's already got one. I can't find her. Rapids on the counter. That'll be stalled out just past half. Played forward. Harrison traps it down. Stolen away immediately. And Aaron McCrae moves it to the far side of the field for Morris. Morris' cross deflected and controlled by Wake FC. Played forward by Murphy. Looking for Sproul. It's deflected wide, and Anna Maria Evans clears it out. Back line forces it forward again for Wake. And now we'll get a throw-in. Couple substitutions coming in. And it'll be Wanopor coming in along with Sydney Spruce. Or, pardon me, Sydney Spruce will be coming out. And Alex Kerr back out as well. Controlled on the far sideline. And we're getting word to the headset. Sounds like there will be 2 minutes of added time. We'll wait to see that confirmed in a few minutes. But that's what we're hearing right now. Another 2 minutes, as we saw in the first half, added to the end of the second half. Taylor Mitchell with it for Wake, back at their defense. Plenty of space to jog it forward to the far sideline for Graham. Graham has plenty of space. She's just going to continue to take it to the middle. Rolled to Wanopor. Back to Graham, and she couldn't hold her position onside. And we'll get a free kick here for the Rapids. Substitution coming in here for the Rapids. It'll be Maggie Hoey taking over for Julia Lenhart. And now we'll resume play. Emily Cowie played forward, flicked on. I have to check the number. I believe that's Olivia McKelvey, who was in goal in the first half. That's exactly who it is. So McKelvey is in the middle of the field for the Rapids. Don't see that too often, especially at this level, where the goalkeeper comes in and plays in the field. You see him push forward whenever a team needs a goal late in a game, but never out as a field player. Another substitution, Taylor Wilcox coming in for the Rapids. And she replaces Kelly Flanders. Just over 2 minutes left till we hit stoppage time. The most recent goal from Taylor Harrison in the 83rd minute, probably the nicest goal of the game. She flicked it forward with the head off of a cross and into the top corner for a 3-0 lead. Taylor Mitchell rolled to the far sideline for Delaney Graham. Pushed forward. Give and go. Gets stopped up. Maddie Murphy still in control. Pushed forward and still going. Far sideline. Wake looking to get it across. Down the goal line. Wanopor open in the middle. Cross to Fish, and they put it home. On a great individual effort for Wake FC here. And I have to get a look at the replay as you see it here. I thought it got to Fish, but it looks like it just went off the keeper Esposito and into the net. So that goal will go to number 11 and Alexandra Kerr here in the 89th minute. So two late ones have doubled the lead for Wake FC, and it is now 4-0. I'll get a stoppage here. A Rapids player was bent over at the waist. I'm getting the binoculars out. Looks like that was Brianna Morris. But she seems to be okay. She'll stay in the game. And this will just waste a little bit more time. Only 30 seconds left till we hit stoppage time. And we'll get the announcement on the stoppage times. We had heard earlier it would likely be 2 minutes. But we'll wait for the official announcement coming here soon. And a throw in deep in Rapids territory here. And we get the official announcement. It will be 2 minutes of added time starting now. 4-0 lead for Wake FC. Well on their way to their first win in WPSL play. This is, of course, the inaugural season for both the WPSL team and the USL2 team for Wake FC. So this would be a big win for the Blue Jerseys. Kristen Jensen, the defender, has it at half. She's going to move forward. Past the defender. Rolled to Wanopor. Tried to spin past the defender. Couldn't do so. And it'll be turned back by the Rapids. Mitchell stalls out that counter. And Wake takes back control. Adair Warner rolled forward. Nice challenge by the Rapids. Brianna Morris played backwards to half. The pass stolen away by Maddie Murphy. Murphy will control. Drop to Simmons and then back to Adair Warner. Now Mitchell. Halfway through stoppage time. Just 1 minute left in this contest. And it's all done. But the final minute. Just running out the clock now for Wake FC. Far sideline. They've got another chance to move with it. Pushed forward looking for Wanopor, and it's cleared into the Wake bench for a throw-in. We're looking at about 30 seconds left of stoppage time. Cleared off the back line by Jada Palmer. Moved forward, but Wake continuing to control and dictate this game. Rapids throw. Well, and I think once the ball gets stalled out in the middle of the field, we'll get our final whistle pretty quickly. Mitchell traps it down. Moves forward with it. Played to the middle for Maddie Murphy. Denied by Morris, and it'll be countered by the Rapids. We're over the 2 minute mark, so the next time we get a stoppage, I would imagine we'll get the whistle as we get a replay of the foul here. This free kick will likely be the last play, I would imagine. On the challenge, just a little bit late. You see the forearm extended by Anna Fish. Pretty easy call for the official. And here's a deep ball in right at Jessica Berlin. And she will control. There's the whistle, and it's a final. 4-0. Wake FC takes down the Carolina Rapids for their first win of the season here at Ting Park in Holly Springs. It started early, a 3-minute goal. Third-minute goal from Rosie O'Neill later in the first half. Alexandra Kerr in the 38th minute doubled that lead. And then 2 goals late. Taylor Harrison in the 83rd minute and Alexandra Kerr in the 89th laid it 4-0. And Wake FC gets their first win in the WPSL. Well, that's about all we have for you with this one tonight. Next time we will be back here will be next week as the USL2 team is in action here at Ting Park. And that's the next time that you will hear from us. That game set to start on Monday the 10th at 7 p.m. NCFC back here to take on Wake FC. So you'll hear from us right around 7 p.m. here at the same spot on the Wake FC YouTube channel. But again, the final score here in the WPSL, Wake FC 4, the Carolina Rapids 0.